His coaching style is grounded in discipline and adaptability, two things that have been missing from Cleveland's offensive strategy for years. Shadore's talent has never been the issue. Even under chaotic circumstances, he's shown remarkable poise, accuracy, and intelligence. He reads defenses fast, makes decisions under pressure, and delivers crisp, confident throws. It's not just about arm strength, it's about football IQ, about knowing how to adapt when things go off script. That's what separates a good quarterback from a great one. But a quarterback, no matter how gifted, can't thrive without the right system. That's where Reese comes in. His track record speaks volumes: faster tempo, smarter play calling, fewer wasted drives. His schemes make sense, built around the strengths of his players instead of forcing them into rigid molds. With Shadore at the helm and Reese calling the shots, the Browns could finally have something they haven't seen in years: balance. A real, functioning offense that can move the ball consistently without collapsing at the first sign of adversity. But as promising as this all sounds, there's a darker layer to this story that nobody can ignore. Because before this glimmer of hope appeared, there was chaos. And at the center of that chaos stood Kevin Stefanski, the man who seemed determined to run this team into the ground with his ego. For weeks, he insisted on sticking with Dillon Gabriel as the starter, despite performance after performance proving it wasn't working. The excuse: loyalty to his pick.